children under the age of 17. There will be foul language and adult content. Viewer discretion is advised.
When I'm in my zone, I feel like I'm alone. I feel like I'm unknown to the world that's full of clones. My originality's focused on principalities broken. I'm loaning my heart and soul to the game that's scared to pay it back. And failure is a motherfucker. The strength to go on and believing in another sucker who don't see the vision in you. So you gotta work harder times two. Gotta make it do what it do with the limited sources you have. Your dream is still a finding motivation in you and inspire the world to do what you can. If you love it, then fuck it, get through it. Yeah. Mumble mentality activated. I waited for so long. Get burdens out, outweighed. When you see me in my zone.
Oh, yes. What's the deal? What's happening? What's good, ladies and gentlemen? There are two of us here tonight, but it's okay. We're going to do what we do because y'all already know how it is when you got the OG crew in the building. And of course, as per mother, again, usual, I am the one, the only one that they ever call Mr. GQ. And I'm going to keep saying it until it changes. Let's talk about it.
Well, first of all, they ain't never going to change. I am your boy, DJ Micah B. It feels good to be back. Old school crew on Gentlemen's Talk Wednesday. So it's only right that I go back and say happy Gentlemen's Talk Wednesday. Like the audio days. And salute. Had to start off with a shot like we used to.
Look,
gotta work.
Ironically,
water. It's okay.
Oh, it's definitely not water, but ironically with my America cup, but we're gonna leave that right where
America. I am the leader of the Four-Eyed Coalition, as y'all know. I recently got glasses, and here I am. I know you can see the reflection of my screen in the camera. I don't necessarily know what to do about that. I can't really do nothing about that, but unless I get like a filter or something. But I am trying. You know, we used to start the show off and we tell y'all what we're drinking today. Yeah. I'm trying something new that the lady recommended me at Total Wine. It's some new tequila. It's called Solo Agave.
Hey,
you know about it already, don't you? Yeah, it's nothing new for you. It's never new for you. That's it though. Solo Agave, get at us.
Yeah, that's
every week.
So let me quick little rundown on the Solo Agave real quick. Solo Agave is a good mid-tier party tequila. Like if you hosting a party or anything like that, it's a good one to go. It's very inexpensive, but it's smooth. It's smooth, not a lot of tequila burn. But it's just a smooth, solid tequila for a party, especially if you're in a pinch and you ain't trying to spend no money on a bottle of Dom or something else like that. Like it's good for that purpose. So
it's cool. It's smooth. I'm gonna go back and buy the Blanco and see how I like it.
You'll like the Blanco better. I'm just gonna tell you that right now.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, I think the Blanco, if it has normally Blanco has less burn or whatever. So I think the Blanco would be good to actually throw into a margarita. A margarita machine. If you're gonna make a margarita with a margarita machine, a frozen margarita, that's what it tastes like. It tastes like it should go in a margarita. So yeah. Shout out Solo Agave.
I fucks with it. I ain't drinking nothing too fancy, just a little spiked lemonade. Nothing too crazy. It's just it's been one. I say it's a spiked lemonade with a Celsius chaser. So it's
that's interesting.
I got a long night ahead of me, so
school.
You know it.
Yep.
I'm trying to get this bachelor's degree next year, so I got to get this shit done. And then just some work shit. So we got a interesting show tonight. Interesting things that have kind of been floating around. Obviously, you guys know, we all know what happened last week. And of course, Gentlemen's Talk didn't really speak on it too much because it's really sensitive. And clearly, you must be careful what you say and how you say it because you might fuck around and get canceled, for lack of a better term. So we decided to, take a step back, kind of let the dust ain't really settled. That's the crazy thing. It's probably amplified because of all the continual backlash that is continuing to happen from this situation. Um, no matter how you feel about it, this, that, and the third, no matter how you felt about the person, no matter how you vote, no matter what color you represent, any of that type of shit like that. Um, remember at the end of the day, there is a human element to this that we're not talking about enough. There is an actual human element, and this entire situation resulted in a wife without a husband and children without a father. That's the wrong answer. Point blank, period. That I'm saying it like that. We should not be in a world, fuck that. We should not be in a country where you're supposed to have the freedom to say things, but yet you're also allowed to have extreme consequences for saying said things. What happened to the days of being able to listen to what someone had to say, taking it for what it is, speaking your own opinion, and that be the end of it? We've gotten so defensive and divisive and offended for the things that people do and say, and it's like at the end of the day, we have to remember, like, what does the opinion of one actually have to do with you? That person's opinion does not pay your bills. It does not actually affect your life. It really doesn't. Like, if you really, really think about it, the opinion of someone else doesn't actually affect you until you let it affect you. It's words. Words are only venomous if you allow the venom to enter your body. And in this case, you let it enter your mind. Once it enters your mind, then it becomes a whole thing. A lot of people have lost sight of allowing people to just be who they are, say what they got to say. Now, respectfully, say what you got to say. Don't disrespectfully say what you got to say. But it should not, nothing that you say, as long as it stays in the parameters that I just laid out, should it ever cost you your life. And on the other side of that, we're noticing this, and I'm sure DJ Micah B has seen this. There are a lot of people losing their jobs right now. And I'm talking about teachers. I'm talking about armed forces personnel. Now, I have a very simple opinion about that, and it's to me it's a common sense opinion. Even if you don't agree with these educators and these service members being reprimanded for what they're posting, you have to remember it like this. If you work for a corporation, that corporation is always watching. And they told us this. DJ Mike B knows this. They told us this back in 2006, 15, 16, somewhere in that realm. That when you start applying for jobs, these jobs actually start to look at your social media. So we've known this to be a thing. Your social media is a dangerous place depending on what you put out there. So if you work for a corporation, you work for a school district, you work for the literal government, let's just keep it like that. Or if you work for a company that has very strong, views or ties, whether it's religious ties, whatever it is, you have to remember that. You have to remember who you're representing. It's more than just yourself. So you have to not be ignorant. Like, you might not like it, but you have to understand, like, unless you work for yourself, you always got to answer to somebody. We have this platform right here, this very public platform. Myself, DJ Micah B, Outlaw, Mr. Gent, and Moolage, we don't talk very much about our full-time jobs outside of this. You guys, if you've been listening to the show long enough, have a generalized idea what we do. You have a generalized idea. You know that three of us, are labor workers, and two of us work for the government. That's the extent of what you understand about what it is that we do. Unless you follow us on our own personal social medias, you don't really fully know what, but you have at least a summarized idea of what we do. Here's the peel back behind the curtain. We all work for certain groups of people where we cannot say certain things. That's all. I have worked entirely too hard on my non-podcast career to say dumb shit to jeopardize all the work that I've put in. So that's why I don't say a lot of certain things. I fire off on things, but if you ever notice, I don't talk about political things because I ain't got time for that. First of all, I just don't like talking politics. I think it's fucking stupid. That's just my opinion. My political views are very simple, and I don't have to talk about it. we like to be entertaining around here. So we like to make fun of Hollywood doing dumb shit, making fun of celebrity athletes doing dumb shit. We like to talk about music. We like to talk about fantasy sports. But why am I going on this tangent, this rant, if you will, this very, very calm GQ type rant? Because DJ Micah B brought a situation to my attention right before we came on the air. I'm not even gonna waste the time to play the what's trending video because if I get copyrighted again, I'm gonna find that cat and I really want to slap the dog shit out of him. But that's neither here nor there. But this is important, and I need everybody to follow us on this one. I'm gonna kind of briefly go into it, but then I'm gonna let kind of because I feel like DJ Micah B knows more about this than I do. I glanced over the article, so I'm giving you fresh off the dome what I know. So if you don't know this, as of 6:45 p.m., which was not that long ago, ABC pulled Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely over the comments that he made in regards to Mr. Kirk. So even if you don't watch a lot of TV, you know who Jimmy Kimmel is. You've seen his show, you've seen him at the Oscars, you've seen him at all these different. You know who Jimmy Kimmel is,
and okay? You know Guillermo.
100%. He is a very lovable guy. He's a funny guy. He does good stuff. Like he's entertaining. He's a public figure that we all know very well. And of course, the Jimmy Kimmel Live show. But the problem is, and here's why I said that, you have to be mindful of who you work for. We all love Jimmy Kimmel. Wouldn't matter if it was Jimmy Kimmel, if it was Chris Rock, if it was any celebrity, if they're in this particular predicament that he's in, you would understand why this is happening. Me and DJ Micah B had a huge disagreement over this because it happened before. Jimmy Kimmel works for ABC. ABC is owned by Disney. Disney is very strict about the things that they allow their employees to say and do. They monitor everything. And you're on a public setting and you can't fly off the handle. You just can't, because Disney's definitely always watching. That's a billion-dollar company. And they very much do not allow you, whoever you are, to be bigger than the brand. That's just what it is. So you have to understand, like, you may not like it, but he did it. And you put the FCC president in in an unfortunate spot, because what people don't know is the FCC commissioned the broadcast license of ABC, which is a subsidiary of Disney, was at risk because of the remarks that he said. If you cost Disney money, Disney gonna come get you. Point blank period. They gonna remove you from the equation. We talked about this when we talked about X-Men 97, and we know with the writer went away. We talked about this with Jonathan Majors. So we've talked about this on this show multiple times. Do you understand the power of Disney now? Disney also has ESPN, which now has the rights to NFL Network, which means Red Zone and a few other things. So do you understand the amount of power that the company Disney has? If you work for Disney, even if you are a fucking mailman at Disney, like the great T.I. said, you got to watch what you say. DJ Micah B.
Well, to start things off, we did have a disagreement, but I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on what I said, particularly with the perfect reference to this is Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee does some outlandish stuff on his show and says some outlandish stuff on his shows, even though he's ESPN and he's more of a partner instead of, things like that. But again, you're right. You represent a company, and I do feel like it's very annoying now that people are so sensitive to the point where basically you can't say anything. You can't do comedy. You can't do anything. And the First Amendment, I think it's the first. It's either the first or second. The freedom of speech, I think, is the first.
It's the First Amendment.
It's the First Amendment. Freedom of speech is the First Amendment. That was created for satire purposes for the most part. But that was also created to ensure we did not become a dictatorship. You can't speak this whole thing where you can't speak out against the government. You can't speak about things controversial that happen and things like that. It's bullshit. Okay, so I don't even think Jimmy Kimmel said anything out of line to get him suspended. Like, I feel like he just kind of said what he felt. He was like, y'all are doing everything in your power to say this guy is not a MAGA supporter. It's basically was his main point, and they pulled him indefinitely. But if push comes to shove, and it does come out that he is a MAGA supporter, and you know people have been going on and on about that since the murder. I'm not gonna call it an assassination. I'm gonna call it a murder because anybody else get killed like that, you're gonna call it a murder. Don't care. Nobody's above the word murder. Y'all are gonna, it's an assassination. He's a political figure. No, it's a murder. We're not gonna make this thing fancy just because of who he was and things like that. But I get it. You represent a corporation. Jimmy Kimmel was not signed on as a partner. He was signed on to do a show as an employee. And I think that's where it differs between him and Pat McAfee on the shows. Right? So personally, I don't think Jimmy Kimmel said anything too controversial. I've seen crazier statements by different people online. I've seen crazier statements in the news and things like that. So I do not think Jimmy Kimmel should have been pulled off the air, nor do I think he should be pulled off the air indefinitely. I think Jimmy Kimmel hit the nail on the head, more importantly, and people just don't want to be associated with that. And to be completely fair and blunt about it for Jimmy Kimmel, when they first started saying in schools that that slavery didn't exist and we're not going to talk about slavery no more, as it was a historical fact, but they don't want to talk about it. This is what I mean when shit gets washed and it becomes his story instead of history.
No, no,
right?
no, don't just say washed. Call it what it is. You're
Whitewashed?
Yes, call it what it is.
Okay. So whitewashed, right? So yeah, but the other problem I have is when a good bit of America, I don't want to say it was only white people, because I doubt it was only white people. It was just a good bit of, when a good bit of America made fun and made light of George Floyd being killed while he was on the ground, calling out for his mom because he was dying, and people made a mockery of it. Nobody kept that same energy of laughing and shit when somebody made light of Charlie Kirk's death. And I seen somebody post that today, and it really hit me deep, and was like, damn. So just because he was a white political figure, we have to respect that we can't speak and make fun of it like everybody, like a lot of people did with George Floyd's death. So, I mean, I didn't, and I don't want to make light of Charlie Kirk's death, because I mean, like you said, GQ, that's somebody's husband, that's somebody's father. Murder was not the right response to it. But murder wasn't the right response to Martin Luther King or Malcolm X either. But it happened.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with that.
And I'm not going to, I don't want to dive too much deep into, because as I know you do what you do for a living. And I don't want you to have to dive in too much deeper than that, because you do what you do for a living. But we're going to leave it like at the surface level and be like, it was wrong for him to be killed. It was. I don't care if I disagree with his political views. I don't care if I disagree with what he said. You never want to see a family lose a family member, because if it was the other way around, you would be hurt as just as bad as family and friends of that person are hurt. So
Yeah,
my
and
heart
that's
goes out
really
to
my
his
whole
family.
that's my whole thing with it is that right there is it's no matter how you feel in general, it's not worth someone's life. I'm sorry. It's just not. Like we we have to grow up. Let me just call it what it is. We have to fucking grow up. And the fact that we even have to have this conversation, it means that there is a much larger issue at hand that is not being addressed. That is not for our platform to address that. I'm just saying that there is a much larger problem at hand. Point blank period.
And you know what? I think hold on real quick. Let me grab this mic.
No, you
I
good.
think I think part of the problem also, and people can disagree with me, which is it's not a controversial take, but people don't have to agree with what I'm about to say. Part of the problem is that here in America and a lot of places in the world, not just only in America, we have become desensitized to
Oh
things
yeah.
like this because it's all over the internet every day. You can log on Facebook right now and you could find a video of somebody getting killed. You can find a video of somebody getting shot. You can find a video of somebody getting beat to death. And it's just like it's just a normal day on social media now. And
Yeah.
that's part of the issue. Like media has changed so much. Like regular media doesn't exist anymore. For instance, when the RIP to Kobe, I hate to bring it up, but I have to bring it up because it makes so much sense when I bring it up. When the helicopter crash happened with Kobe, Vanessa and the kids didn't even know before TMZ posted it. They
Yeah.
found out on Facebook and social media, and she has came out and publicly said that. That's how crazy the media has become. Everybody with a cell phone is media now if you want to be. Hell, we have Grizzly News right here in Houston that is
Hey, and
on the scene quicker.
she be on it too though. Like,
Granted, she don't do like the sensitized videos or whatever. She just gets there and tells everybody what's going on before the news outlets even have a chance to do it.
yeah, or she's literally there as the situation is going, and she's basically like the same as if when we had reporters back in the day, where they would just pull up in the van with the cameraman and the reporter, and like that's what she's doing, but by herself, with a phone and a microphone, because
Facebook
we have that
Live.
level, of technology, because you literally just need a decent cell phone. We have microphones you literally plug up into your charging port and clip to your body that amplify your sound, just like you would see with me and DJ Micah B right now. And boom, it's on and popping. All you need is, even some AirPods or a decent pair of headphones, and you in that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think when you go watch a video, I think a lot of people watched that video and was just like, damn, that's messed up, and moved on. Because not the first time they've seen. I remember seeing the King Von shooting for the
See, I
first
never saw that.
time.
I never saw that video.
I saw the video of King Von shooting, and I was like, God, dog, like
Like I remember the story, and I was like, that's fucked up. Like I do really, it was really, but with this current situation, I saw that one by accident. I wasn't even trying to see it. It was
me
just
too.
when I opened up Instagram, it was like pow, right in front of me, and I was like, shit. Like I didn't even have time to react because I didn't actually know what happened, because I was at work all day and I wasn't really paying attention to what the fuck was going on. So I was just thinking it was just another video of him talking. Then I realized it was the video. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, I wasn't ready for that. Like, and me, based, with my full-time life, I'm like, hey man, that ain't, like, the first thing I said out loud is like, that should not be on public airways. Cause that just that ain't it. Like, I understand we're desensitized to a certain point, but that's a level. That's like a 7 on the scale. of things that people just shouldn't see.
See, I felt like as kids, we were showed or shown the JFK assassination, and that's how I felt when I saw this one. I was like, "Yo, this is wild. Why is this being shown?" Especially when little kids have access to the internet
Yeah.
now.
Well, also, but you got to look at it. You got to look at this differently now. With the JFK thing, we had to sign permission slips from our parents to be
We
shown
did.
this. This instance was public information because kids that are 16 and under have cell phones and access to social media. So it's like a very different situation. Because imagine, let's put it in 2025. Imagine if the JFK situation happened in 2025. Just imagine how that would have gone.
Oh, everybody would have known within the first 5 minutes.
Well, no, bump all that. Remember, that situation one would have been on national television and then all the cell phones on top of that. So you wouldn't have been able to get rid of that video because it would have been on so many different screens. Like, because you know how many people would have gone Facebook Live, IG Live, TikTok Live, plus whatever, news outlet was showing it, all the things. And imagine, like, how do you cut that feed when that happens? Like, how do you cut that feed because everyone's seen it now? Like, when you think of it on the scale of how that situation broke down, there was a delay back then. Nowadays, it's instantaneous because everybody, just like you said, everybody has a device.
Everybody can go live, and somebody can screen record and keep that, and then repost it if they was to take it off. It's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like you really have to be careful because like it's almost set up in a way where you have to be perfect in an imperfect world. Like you as someone who lives in this country, you have to walk on eggshells. You have to watch what you say. You have to be politically correct. You can't be unapologetic. Not to the masses, you can't, because you might face some sort of backlash that you didn't even know you were going to face because of what you said. I don't know, man. The way I see it nowadays is it's just we're not trending. We're not trending up. I'll tell you that much. We are not trending up. We are trending in a very, very dark situation as a like a country, and I hate it, and I really hate it for my kids more than anything else. I'm an adult. I hate it for my kids because I don't want my kids to have to grow up in a world where they have to be mindful of what they say because someone can flip it on its head and now you can essentially be prosecuted for it.
One of the craziest things about this is athletes have been dealing with this for years before social media, because they used to do interviews and they take a sound bite out the interview and post it and then put it in a magazine, and it makes them seem like the bad person, and the athlete would come back and say, but it was taken out of context. This is what I actually said. They took this snippet and put it in there to make controversy.
Yep.
Now, granted,
And, I'm glad you said that the way you did because I was gonna talk about this anyway. You created the perfect segue. So I've been so like this is kind of like been popping up on like on TV and stuff by like accident. And I don't know if you've seen this or not. Have you seen the state laws around Texas athletes and NIL?
no.
Okay. So I saw this commercial like a couple days ago and I was like, okay. So basically there's currently a bill that's being worked on right now that's trying to limit NIL for like high school, like basically like high school athletes, because like you know how big Texas football is in the state of Texas. It mostly revolves around football, some basketball, but mostly football. Um, and of course, so they signed House Bill 126, that in to ensure that Texas athletes are able to be properly compensated for their efforts. Um, so basically, it also widens existing legislation so that athletes can be paid directly from their university. So that takes care of the college level. Um, but then, like, what they've been learning is that like some of these NIL things have been trickling down to like the high school level, and it's been getting like,
Yeah, because they're offering them before they're old enough.
So it's like, so they had to like literally write this out. The like NIL agreements only with post secondary institutions. Like they had to like, I don't know why I mean, I guess I kind of understand why it had to be a thing, but like it's just, I don't know, it's just crazy. Like this NIL thing is getting even more like, because basically because like I guess there were people that were targeting like student athletes that were under 17, so they had to write it into law. So basically, and it says high school athlete restrictions. So student athletes under the age of 17 are ineligible to receive any NIL funds. Those who are 17 and older must be actively participating in a college program before they can begin receiving NIL payments. They had to do that because there were NIL people out there giving these high school athletes NIL deals prior to, or because of their commitment to a certain college, like, oh, hey, you trying to sign this deal or what? And, you know, that was becoming a thing. So the good thing is there was a settlement. So retroactive pay eligibility. Athletes who competed in Texas universities before NIL became legal in 2021 may be eligible for retroactive compensation as part of a settlement. So that's good. So needless to say, I would say we've got to keep an eye on this because it sounds like this is going to become more and more of a thing that we're going to have to keep our eye on moving forward.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's just take it into perspective. Before college athletes were allowed to be legally paid, right? Before they were allowed to be legally paid,
the envelopes under the table.
Right. So like it's the same thing, but now it's trickled down to high school because college athletes are able to be paid. Before, when college athletes weren't able to be paid, people were like, hey, I'll give you this money, come play for my program. We'll do something. And they were recruiting kids 15, 16 years old, like, your family live in the hood, you this and this, we got you, this and this, whatever.
Insert right? Reggie Bush.
Right. Which I would just like to tell everybody, Reggie Bush did nothing wrong. That Heisman is still his. Especially now that you can get paid for NIL. That money
I'm never gonna blame a young man or a young lady for trying to take care of their mom or dad. I'm sorry.
Not at all. So before, you couldn't pay college athletes, right? Now you're not supposed to pay high school athletes who are underage not participating in your program. For those of you that don't know what they mean by participating in the program, some people do graduate at the age of 17. I was one of them. And if I did play sports in high school to where I would have a scholarship, I could enter the program for especially like football. I could enter spring football at that college when spring football starts, for the people that don't understand. So once I'd enter spring football, then I'd be eligible at 17 to start receiving compensation from NIL to get paid. And that's what it means by they're not currently active in that university's program. For the people that needed a backstory on it, there's your best explanation of it. Or baseball, spring baseball is a thing too, so I think this is a necessary bill, especially in Texas. And I don't want to brag on my home state, but
brag on
it. I'm going to anyway. We produce some of the best athletes in the whole nation. I want to remind y'all, 50% of the military is from Texas. Okay, so that should tell you enough right there. And that is including the National Guard as well. And it might be more from the National Guard in Texas than 50%. I don't necessarily know. Maybe GQ could have the numbers for y'all since he's an active participant in that branch. But I think this is necessary because bless you. Now that it is legal to pay college athletes, when it wasn't, you paid under the table. Now that it's legal to pay college athletes, you're going to start going back even further and like, well, I'm trying to pay this guy from the time he's 15 to make sure he comes to my program. And it's essentially the same thing that was going on when people were leaving high school and going to college. So yeah, it's definitely a necessary bill. You shouldn't be able to do any kind of NIL negotiations, and the parents shouldn't be able to do any kind of NIL negotiations before the kid is 17. Because essentially when they turn 17, they're responsible for their money. This is not a what is the phrase they use for child actors? I can't even think of it.
That's all I ever called them.
So this is not a thing for child actors where the parents are pretty much in control of the money and they have to do trust funds and things like that to make sure the kid gets the money upon the age requirement, right? And again, a lot of 15, 16-year-olds that go to school right now, I thank God I didn't grow up in this era because I ain't buying no Balenciagas and all this stuff and y'all flexing at 15 and 16 and this and that. That's crazy. And I know a lot of you are going to come out and say, well, what about influencers that are getting millions of dollars right now when they're still under 17? Well, as an influencer who is in control of the money, and it's going to be the parents because they can't pay the influencer directly.
I think it's like custodial thing.
Right.
I know what you're talking about. Conservatorship.
Right.
There we go.
Unless you file for independence.
Emancipation.
Right. Emancipation. That's it. I couldn't think of the word of it. So unless you file for emancipation.
I got you. Don't worry.
So yeah, this is definitely necessary. You should not be able to give a 14-year-old kid a contract for him to sign of saying, I'm going to play for your college for $1 million a year 4 years from now. Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people be like, think about Ryan's word, his parents taking in all of that money. Hey, facts.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, I'm glad that we're talking about NIL because there's something I learned that I didn't know. So, and we talked about this cat on, he talked about him on Inside the Huddle, and then we talked about this same guy on this show. We called him a dumbass millionaire. The quarterback from Tennessee who transferred to UCLA, Nico Emiliava, however the fuck you say his name. So, and I'm bringing his name to light because if you've been watching college football, you know what you've noticed. He been straight booty cheeks, absolute hot dog water, ain't been shit. However, he's been so bad that his coach got fired. Did you know, DJ Micah B, I learned this. When your coach is fired, before you play 4 games, you have a 30-day transfer window?
No.
I just learned that last week. So, because the firing happened before a team played 4 games, players that have not redshirted can retain a year of eligibility if they transfer within that 30-day window. Now, that's important for this reason. The QB in question, Mr. Nico, already utilized his redshirt year, so he wouldn't actually be able to join another team until the spring semester. So even though he may not transfer, quote unquote, now in his 30-day window, is to say that he may not, transfer later. But I want to bring this up because here's one of those problems with NIL. Why did you pay that kid so much? Because, first of all, I know whoever gave this young man advice wasn't paying attention. DJ Micah B, I know you don't watch a lot of college football, but you know enough about college football, so you'll understand exactly what I'm about to say. Playing for the University of Tennessee in the SEC is a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's a NFL machine. It pushes out a lot of players. A lot of people don't realize that. One of your most notable players that came out of Tennessee that is in the NFL because he was like the number 3 running back at Alabama is Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara was not getting any play at Alabama. He transferred to Tennessee, balled the fuck out, and look at him now. So there's
Superstar.
things like that. There's a current wide receiver who plays for the New York Giants. His name is Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt had a 5 touchdown game against Alabama, and that's what boosted his draft stock. Now, is it translating to the NFL right now? No. But why am I saying that? Because when you play in the SEC, you have lots of primetime games. You have lots of chances to put film out. You have lots of chances to showcase your talents. Nico, you didn't play that bad last year in Tennessee. And I actually think you would have done a lot better this year had you simply stayed, but instead you chased the bag and you are showing the world that how do you go from the SEC to what, the Pac-12? Is that where UCLA is now? I don't, or they go to the Big Ten. I
I
know
don't
there was a
remember.
weird ass realignment, but either way,
Yeah.
fuck all that. You went from the powerhouse, one of the powerhouses of college football conferences, to a lesser conference, because I do believe that a lesser conference, and you're
A lesser
struggling.
school at that.
A lesser school for shit sure. Like, it's just, I don't know. Sometimes, like, and the problem, what we're learning with NIL is that we're giving these athletes, what's the word I'm looking for? Entitlement.
Privilege. That's what I was gonna say.
It's entitlement because because something didn't go your way, right? And all of a sudden you're like, well, I'm just going to transfer. Oh, UCLA's in the Big Ten, by the way. So not supremely a lesser conference, because the Big Ten is a very good conference. But
It's legit.
in regard, it is legit because I mean that's where your Ohio State is. No, they're in the ACC, aren't they? No, they're in the Big Ten.
They're in the Big Ten.
Ohio State's the Big Ten. Yeah, Ohio
Mhm.
State in Michigan are the Big Ten. Pretty much that's what's left in the Big Ten. In football,
That's
we ain't talking
it.
about basketball. We ain't talking about. We're just talking about football, folks. Don't get pissed
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Basketball, we know. Michigan State and a bunch of we know. Okay,
We know they
Our
started
football
breaking that shit up in
Yeah, we're talking
sports.
about football. Okay, football. There's really only 2 Big Ten teams in football. Let's be real. I don't even know what the Big Ten looks like now after the realignment. It might be better. It could be better. I'll look that up one day. But we got to stop. Like, and I know people are like, oh, but but coaches can leave at any point in time. Why can't players? I'm like, because if as an athlete you're leaving because you don't like a certain thing a certain way, whatever it is, you have to. I just feel like that nobody wants to struggle anymore. Like nobody wants to persevere. Okay, so the Big Ten has 18 teams.
Which is insane because I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, they are better. Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, USC, Oregon, Washington,
They're way better. Yeah.
Minnesota, Maryland,
Wisconsin,
Purdue, Rutgers, UCLA, yeah, Northwestern,
USC.
Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Big Ten is a lot better. A lot better. That's good. Yeah, they are a lot better. They're a lot better than they have been. Because UCLA, USC, Oregon, and Washington all joined the Big Ten. Okay. Yeah. And then the Pac-12 essentially collapsed,
Yeah, pretty much.
basically. Okay. Yeah.
Time to rebrand the Big Ten with a different
I'm
name
trying to
too.
tell you, you can't beat a Big Ten with 18 teams, but that's actually, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, for college basketball, that's fire.
It's deep for college
Dog,
basketball.
for basketball, that's crazy work.
I don't think, but the problem is, I think some teams are in the Big Ten just for football and not any other sports.
Let's find out. I'm gonna look it up because we have.
I know you are. I know you are.
All right. Big Ten college basketball teams: Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan State, Michigan, Minnesota, Nebraska, Northwestern, Ohio State, Oregon, Purdue, Rutgers, UCLA, Washington, and Wisconsin.
Okay, so it's across both sports.
Yeah. Well, except for USC, that because they didn't list USC on the Big Ten college basketball team.
Well, USC is are they the ACC?
I'm trying to find out. Oh no, here we go. Okay, okay. I found a much more updated list. Okay, USC is on. Okay, the other list I was looking at didn't have it updated, but this one has. Okay, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Maryland, Michigan State, Michigan, Minnesota, Nebraska, Northwestern, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Purdue, Rutgers, UCLA, that's really nice because that's at least one, two, three, four, five, six. That's eight. That's at least 8 teams that are competitive in college basketball for sure. Well, nine. I almost forgot about Purdue. I'm sorry. So nine with Purdue. Yeah, that's crazy work. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, okay. Now the one to look at though is like the Big 12 has changed a little bit. And Big 12 is gonna be fun for college basketball this year too, with U of H being over there and Colorado. Colorado was all right. I mean, I think their girls team was a little bit better last year, but Colorado's gonna be good. Cincinnati, Baylor, BYU. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun, especially with Houston and Kansas being in the same conference. That's gonna be even yeah.
Right.
I got into a bit of a wormhole looking at college basketball
Of
conferences, and I
course
was
you
like,
did.
but I was impressed by the Big 12. I was like, the Big 12 is because now that U of H is in the Big 12, U of H competing with Kansas is gonna be lit. Like
I
that's
wish I
actually,
could. I actually wish I could feel the same way. And only reason why I don't is because I don't think that matchup matters as much in college basketball as it would in college football.
I think
And
it does because it's when you're talking college basketball and you're talking Big 12, Kansas, the Jayhawks, is the first team that comes to mind.
right. No,
Because
no,
but but U of H the last 3 years has been an absolute menace in the NCAA tournament. And so the reason I say it's a marquee matchup is because it's going to play with seeding now. Because normally Kansas is one of your now, except for last year, they didn't, but Kansas is normally one of your first four in because they typically win the Big 12, except for a couple years when like some other things happen. But but this year really it changes a few things. It makes it a little more interesting.
well, the reason why I don't think it matters as much is because there's far more teams that make the NCAA tournament for basketball than it would football. Like in football,
Well, yeah, in
only
football,
one
we're talking about 12.
only one of those teams would make it into the college football playoff the way it stands right now. Whereas in basketball, okay, if Kansas wins the Big 12 and they are a top seed, let's say they're the number one seed in the East region or whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever region they're in.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, U of H could still be a top 2 or 3 seed in whatever region they get put in. Whereas in college football, they're only taking 8 teams, and it becomes a little bit more important for you to win your division in college football than it is in college
So
basketball.
you're saying the 8 after the top 4 because it's 12-team playoff in college
Well,
football.
yeah.
So I didn't know if
Well,
okay.
well, even if it's 12, like there's no guarantee that the Big 12 would get 2 teams every year.
No, in college football,
in
absolutely
college
not.
football, right? So that's why I think that matters more for football than it does basketball. That's why I'm just like,
No, so
in
I'm
basketball, it does
saying
because it's rare that the number one team or number one seed overall just wins. Period.
yeah. So what I'm saying is it makes the Big 12 more compelling and entertaining because you've added some more teams. Because even that Colorado men's basketball team was pretty athletic last year. West Virginia is always competitive. They're always scrappy. It makes like that Big 12 tournament that much more exciting in a way, because U of H has been so competitive the last couple years. So for me, it's not like obviously, of course, doesn't really matter. At least 2, maybe 3 teams from the Big 12 may get in. But what I'm saying is, it's like whoever wins that Big 12 now, it's like they earn that. Like, it's not just like a giveaway. It makes
Yeah,
for entertaining games. And that's what excites me about it,
I,
is
I,
the entertainment side of it. Because, because Kansas is just like Duke and North Carolina. These schools. They've been around for a long time, and they almost always are dominating their conferences. That's like, like, it's a big deal. So it's just good that there's been an injection of life into the Big 12 with adding Colorado, with adding U of H, with adding UCF. So like that's good, and adding a BYU. So that's good. It's good for the overall product of the Big 12 when it comes to basketball. Obviously, in football, we don't give a fuck, because the Big 12 doesn't really play a relevant role anymore in college football. Ever since UT, A&M, Oklahoma, they all left. Like, the Big 12 is just not what it used to be from that
well,
perspective.
right. Well, right. See, I've always been, and this is just my personal thing here. I've never been a fan of. I mean, I get what a conference championship means.
Yeah.
But pertaining specifically to the Big 12, a conference in NCAA basketball that will constantly have more than one team get in, as in compared to football. I don't think, like, if I was in if I play NCAA and you had football and basketball, the wins of the regular season matter more in NCAA football. The conference championships in NCAA football matter more than it does in basketball, because you can lose in the conference tournament and still go all the way and win the NCAA championship. And also, the meaning of winning for the NCAA tournament, I think, goes more to schools like Ivy League schools that aren't power conferences in basketball, particularly those win, like the SWAC, the Ivy League. Like, you're probably only going to get 1, maybe 2 teams in the tournament for that. That's why I'm just like, winning the conference championship is cool. You get to cut the net or whatever, but it doesn't really. That's how it is. Hear me out on this one. That's how it is when you win your division in the NBA. Nobody give a shit about your division in the NBA. It doesn't even give it a mandatory thing that you get into the playoff. Now, normally, if you win your division in the NBA, you're probably going to get into the playoff anyway, because the NBA takes 8 and 8.
And you're gonna get a banner that nobody knows you got.
Right. So
I don't even know the division breakdown in basketball. That's how unimportant it is.
Like, it's literally one of those things for NBA basketball where it's like, I know the Southwest Division. Why do I know the Southwest Division? Because I live in the Southwest Division. It's the Spurs, the Mavericks, the Rockets, the Pelicans. I feel like there's 5 and I'm missing one. Maybe OKC is the 5th. No, OKC is with the Grizzlies. Is there 5 or 4? I don't remember if there's 5 or 4 in the NBA. But nonetheless, it's like, okay, the Rockets could win their division right now. I'd be like, okay, and the fuck does that mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
But that's my only thing with I feel like the conferences matter more. The conference championships matter more in football than it does for the NCAA basketball, because Big 12 can get 4 or 5 teams in there every year consistently, if not more. Because basketball is so based hard on your record. It's not even really based on the competition you play. It's just based on your record. Whereas NCAA football is based on a power ranking because there's so many teams and there's only so many slots that can get into the playoff.
Yeah. No argument for me. Um, trying to pull this up. That did not help with what I was trying to get done. Let's go over here instead. Here we go. Okay. Let's talk about something that you and I have not had the pleasure of talking about in a very, very, very long time. Let's talk about wrestling. Let's talk about it because there's some very important things that have happened in the world of WWE since we've really kind of done this. And now that we know, literally this Saturday is the first WWE PLE on ESPN in WrestlePalooza.
Shall I come over by you and watch it? That's all I want to know.
The answer is yes. I'll just
Okay,
give you the
okay.
simple answer.
Well, I get off of work at 4 and WrestlePalooza starts 6. I'll be there.
Yes, this starts at 4 p.m. Pacific time, which sounds like that's when the pre-show starts, which we assume. Well, hold on. Actually, the WrestlePalooza countdown starts at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay. Well,
And
I'm sending
then
everybody home early.
yeah, and then the PLE says it starts 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific time. So before we get into the WrestlePalooza card, what are your thoughts on this merger of WWE and ESPN with the PLEs specifically?
Trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. As a consumer, it's trash. As a person, if I was in WWE, it makes sense. Right? But as a consumer, it's trash because now I need three different ways to watch wrestling on a weekly basis. If there's a PLE, like it is what it is.
Well, no, you only need one because you'll be able to watch it on the ESPN app.
Is Raw on the ESPN app? Because Raw
No.
is still on Netflix.
Yeah, but you said 3 ways to watch PLEs.
No. I'm in 3 ways to watch WWE every week if there's a PLE.
Track.
Is what I'm saying. So maybe even 4 because NXT is on CW. Is SmackDown on CW? I don't remember.
No. USA, I believe.
Oh, right. So okay, so
I can watch everything. I can watch everything but Raw on Hulu. I just have to, but I mean, I have Netflix, so I don't care. But also, I watch Raw on Netflix, and
Right.
I watch NXT and SmackDown on Hulu, and then I have the bundle, so I've had the bundle way before
it was a big thing.
So I've been grandfathered into my price of the bundle for a very long time because I've had Disney Plus for a long time, and I've had ESPN Plus because that's how I used to order the UFC fights because they were $60 and they were cheaper. So I've been a loyal bundle member for a very long time. So I wasn't upset entirely because I already have these things.
Okay.
The price that I pay isn't bad for what it is. Now I understand your point completely. For the average consumer, it sucks. It does. For the average consumer, it sucks. Because if you didn't already have ESPN, the app and all the stuff, it's not cheap by itself. So it's kind of pushing you to get the bundle because the bundle is cheaper. The new price, it's debatable. So that part's tricky. But like you said, that from the talent perspective, it's actually great. And why I say that is because I watch certain shows on ESPN during the day. So we were talking about this in our WWE group chat that me and DJ Michael B have, and literally on Monday or Tuesday, while I was watching Get Up, like live, and they were in the middle of doing one of their segments, all of a sudden Seth Rollins' music plays, and I'm like, why the fuck is Seth Rollins' music playing? And all of a sudden, here he comes out, and you're like, oh shit. And if you look at it now, these major talents are all across ESPN. They show up on the Pat McAfee show. They show up on Get Up. They show up on First Take. Like, they show up. And it's a part of, like, so now the branding is even bigger because ESPN is a worldwide global thing. So it's like, oh, Now we're putting TKO and WWE on full scale. Now, the good thing is, I imagine, I say good thing. I don't know if it's entirely a good thing yet. I feel like at some point, I don't even know if they can actually do this, but don't be shocked if they do this. And like I think once the Netflix deal ends, don't be surprised if Raw ends up on ESPN. The problem is I don't know if they can do it because of football season. That's what will fuck them up because of Monday Night Football. You would have to start at like 4 o'clock. And WWE's never had a regular TV event that just consistently basically started when all your kids get out of school. So that'll be interesting to see. We'll see how this PLE goes this weekend. Um, let's talk about the match card. Let's give everybody a little for some odd reason. If you don't watch enough wrestling, tell you what the match card is. You can speak your piece how you feel. But you got the undisputed championship match between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. You have the mixed tag match with CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. You've got John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. You've got the Women's World Championship, which is Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer. And you have got the reuniting of the Usos versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. What are your initial thoughts on that card?
I'm sorry, what did you say? Carla was talking
Your
to me.
initial thoughts on the card
For this weekend?
for WrestleMania, yeah.
The fact that the Usos are reuniting, I think they are taking kind of a step back, but I do like it because the singles division is very, very heavy right now, like ridiculously heavy. But one of the things that I do like with the Usos reuniting is that they're going to make a stamp. I think the Usos are going to win the match, by the way. I think they're going to make a stamp to solidify them as the greatest tag team to ever touch WWE. And I am a heavy Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, Christian and Edge person. True tag teams, right? But the Usos are so if they get back together, win the tag team championships, they're going to be the greatest tag team ever. I think as of right now, a lot of people might consider them the greatest tag team ever. But if they win a tag team championship together, have another run, they'll be the greatest tag team ever. But what would solidify them as the greatest tag team ever is if they ever elevate Jimmy to give him a very, very good singles run. That is the only thing right now that is stopping them from being the greatest tag team ever. And Jimmy is getting a pop right now. And I want to make myself clear when I say this. I don't know if you agree, you might agree. I just want to let everybody know Jimmy has always been the better wrestler. I'm dead ass serious too. Jimmy has always been the more pure wrestler. He's always been a better wrestler. Jay is just more charismatic on the mic and galvanizing the crowd, right? So I've always thought Jimmy was the better wrestler. And with Jimmy being the better wrestler and Jimmy getting better and better on the mic, I think it's time for them to let Jimmy have a run at a singles championship. Even if it's something like the Intercontinental or the US. And I know Sami Zayn has the US Championship, so why would they have Jimmy fight Sami Zayn? Because of the whole bloodline thing and the whole storyline. But at some point, Jimmy has to have a singles run because Jimmy is very good. As far as WrestlePalooza goes with Brock Lesnar and John Cena, this is going to be the last time they face off. And a lot of people clamored for this. And I want to tell everybody, last time they faced off like this, when they went in the ring and everybody had to separate them, they were really trading blows. These niggas was really fighting. I'm just letting y'all know now. It came out. They were really, they don't like each other. I don't know if that's the same as now. But back then, they did not like each other. They were not pulling punches. They were really fighting. And they were really throwing punches and hitting people when people try to break them up.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So I think it's gonna be good. Who else is battling? The
AJ,
women.
you got the mixed tag match, which is like
Mixed
probably gonna be that's you know.
I'll be the first one to tell you I hate mixed tag matches. I really do. I do.
Okay.
And the only reason why I hate them is because for the most part, you're not going to let a man hit a woman, but you let a woman do a move to a man and do something. I mean, none of these women are China. China will be like, to hell with it. I'm strong enough to do this, this, and this. Right? But I think they should have let AJ Lee and Becky Lynch battle it out by themselves for the championship. I do.
I think that match is coming soon.
For sure.
I'm fine with this mixed tag match because of how it was built. Because this is going to be one of the first times we've actually had two legit married couples fighting in a mixed tag match, which I actually think makes this a very interesting match. And if you really think about it, there's a lot of history here. You've got AJ Lee, who's been out of WWE for like 10 years. And then you got CM Punk, who was out for a very long time, who then came back. But you got Becky and Seth, who've been there, been workhorses, been doing all the work. There's so much that's like built around this match that this could be one of the best mixed tag matches we've ever seen. As much as you don't like them, this could be a really good match to see. Fun fact, we were talking about tag team stuff. Did you know that the most decorated tag team wrestler is Kofi Kingston?
I thought it was the Dudley Boys.
Kofi Kingston has 11 championships.
Dudley Boys has maybe wrestling right now, yeah, but
he has 7 reigns as a SmackDown champion and 4 as the Raw tag team for a total of 11. The Usos hold the longest tag team title reign. They beat the New Day's record of 483. They beat it by like 200 and some odd days. And the New Day was the first tag team to win the NXT. They were the first Triple Crown tag team champions because they had the NXT, Raw, and SmackDown tag team titles. So the greatest tag team of all time has a very compelling conversation because I think people sleep on the New Day being in this conversation as well. Because I do think
because I think a lot of people would argue it is the New Day. And people will say, well, yeah, whatchamacallit had a longer reign, but the New Day had more reigns. And that's another thing where it goes into, like most sports, longevity versus the number.
Yeah. Which is fine, however you want to look at it. I'd be in the same boat as you where I'm like, I have zero problem. Like if people were to say it was the Usos, I'm a huge fan of the Usos. They've had 9 total championship reigns so far. So, they're doing it because we got to remember they had the undisputed tag team titles, which they held both titles. So that's a big deal. They've had 8 times making them one of the most dominant tag teams. And then they had the longest male tag team reign, 622 days, which ended at WrestleMania. Which we remember that match very well because we were together when that happened. So I actually and I understand what you're saying when you say that, you think it's a step back for the Usos. And I think it's the opposite. I think it's the opposite. I think it's a step forward because this to me is WWE taking a page out of the Hardy Boys playbook. Because we saw this before. When they split the Hardys up the first time and Jeff went on and won the world championship and went on his little run, and then Matt was doing his thing for a little bit, then they brought him back together and they went on 2 more tag team title reigns. It made them even bigger, even more legendary, I guess is the word we're going to use. I think we're going to see the same because right now, if you watch Raw and SmackDown, would you say that right now, this is probably the best that the men's tag division has looked in a long time? Like collectively, think about all the teams, Raw and SmackDown, all the teams.
Yeah. I would say that.
With that,
I would say this is the best since probably 2015 when the Dudleys came back. Yeah.
okay. So hear me out now. With that being said, if this is the best it's looked, to include the Wyatt Six and everybody that's in this mix, to include, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, DIY, why wouldn't you bring the best modern day tag team back into the fold and elevate this
I
division even more? Because it's saturated, but not to a point where it takes away from the product. Because this is I'll give WWE their props on this. The amount of competitive tag teams that we've had recently have made these tag team matches better. So I think adding the Usos to the mix only elevates whatever future plans that they've got going on.
Well, the reason I would say it doesn't, and hear me out, right? Only reason why I would say it doesn't is for one reason. I think they hit the nail on the head when they let Jay and Cody win the tag team championships, because individually they are both great, and their tag team highlighted the best of both of them because they didn't have tag team moves, but they built something to where both of them could break off and be main event superstars, right? Jimmy hasn't had that chance yet. And I think for the first time in a very long time, I would just like to say these are probably the first people since Christian and Edge where both of them can probably win a singles world championship.
Yeah, I've
Because
always thought that.
because most people don't remember that Christian did win. Was it the World Heavyweight or the WWE Championship? I don't remember.
Heavyweight championship.
Yeah. Okay. So Christian did win the World Heavyweight Championship. And I think that if you put him back in a tag team, and eventually you don't break, if you put him back in a tag team, I don't think you'll eventually be able to break him up again. I don't know how you would do it. Like you already stretched the storyline so much to break them up. How could you break them up again to give Jimmy a chance to go on a singles run? Even if it's not the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship, and it's like the US Championship or something like, how could without him being a double champion, how can you make the story compelling enough for him to win by himself again?
Yeah, well, and right now it's not been confirmed that they're gonna be like, back together long term moving forward, but they are reuniting for this match. I feel like Jimmy Uso was about to get a push and then he got injured. Because people forget that he had that knee injury right before Jay got elevated and did all of his stuff. So, and you can still kind of, if you watch closely, you can kind of tell like Jimmy's really just getting back to where he's moving around at normal speed again. Because when he was in that situation where he was helping out, I forgot who he was helping. He kept, you could see when he was running to the ring, like how he looked lumbering and laboring. Like you could tell he wasn't fully healthy. This is the best he's looked. Like when him and Jay when they both dove over the rope together in sync, I was like, oh yeah, Jimmy might be healthy again. Like finally. So, time will tell.
I will say though, if this is a way to dial Jimmy back just so he's with Naomi more while she's pregnant and everything, I'm all good with it. I'm all good with it. Yeah, and I think Naomi should be thrown into the story to break them up for Jimmy to have a singles run on the backside of this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see how it all pans out. Like I said, I'm gonna watch it. I'll give it a full unapologetic breakdown. We'll plan that part out. But I don't know. My camera keep doing weird shit right now. I just see a black screen, so I don't know if you can see me, but I can't see me. So
No, I guess if your camera goes black, it's because it's freezing. Because it's freezing on my side.
oh, okay. But my audio sounds like it's coming through just fine.
It is.
Okay. Well, I've been meaning to replace my camera anyway, so I may be it'll probably be replaced before long. Um, yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate we missed our crew tonight. I hope everything's cool with Outlaw and Sherrod's at a birthday dinner macabre thing, which is that's good. We're glad people are enjoying life, but it's always good to do one of these good old fashioned OG type shows with
Oh yeah.
with you and I.
But wait. And I know you're saying, while we waiting, what the hell is going on? But just in case, why can't I find what I'm looking for on here? Oh, I gotta go to media assets, I think. Yes, I do.
Yes, media assets where all of our videos are.
Yeah, hold that thought. Yeah, finally. I know it's a surprise to you, but I did make a list. I have been waiting to debut this. The crossover is back, and I'm so excited because the crossover is back. For those of you that don't know what the crossover is, I take one thing, equate it to another, and we rock that way. So, welcome to the crossover for the people that have never, ever been to it. Today, because WWE is on fire right now, and they're very much on fire, and college football is on fire, and they're very much on fire, I'm going to talk about the top 5 WWE matches to watch so far this year, and predicting the top 5 college football games to watch this year. Granted, one of these games have already gone away. I needed to do this about 3 weeks ago, but I mean, I've been getting in late from work, and this is the first day I've been here on time, and I can actually go in to do the crossover. You ready for this?
Let's get it.
It's been a while. All right. So let's start with the top 5 WWE matches to watch this year. Starting off at number 5, or do you want to go from 1 to 5? You want to go from 5 to 1 on both of them?
5 to 1 is good.
Okay. So let's go from 5 to 1. Starting off with number 5. The number 5 match, people might have higher because they had a lot of implications in this match. But if you have a chance to go back and watch this and see where all the storylines came from, number 5 match is Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
WWE right now as a whole is centered around 80% of this. 80% of WWE is centered around this one WrestleMania match. CM Punk finally got to headline WrestleMania, and Seth Rollins was pissed. Seth Rollins formed
Division.
Seth Rollins formed the Vision. I was about to say visionary, but it is the Vision. Seth Rollins formed a vision around this match. Roman Reigns entered the match mad at CM Punk and Seth Rollins. He wanted to beat them both, and then his wise man crossed him and joined the Vision. He crossed him and CM Punk at the same time, which I don't think anybody saw coming for the most part. I thought he was going to turn on Roman Reigns. I didn't think he was going to turn on CM Punk.
Yeah.
Which blew my mind. So if you get a chance, watch that because it's everything. 80% of WWE is based on this one match. You got 3 different factions for the most part going at it right now, and they all hostile. And even though LA Knight is not part of any faction, I'd put him under the branch of CM Punk because he's like, yo, I got crossed by both teams at this point, which is true.
Yeah.
He's been crossed by Jay, and he's been crossed by Braun, and that puts him dead in the middle with CM Punk. Number 4, and I don't care what anybody says, I love that. Granted, this is not the top 5 best matches of 2025 based on internet voting and things. This is just the ones I enjoyed watching. Number 4, the Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn street fight. I thought this was a really good fight. I thought it was a really good match. Kind of like was that Karrion Kross versus who was it in NXT? I'm sorry, Baron Corbin. The Baron Corbin fight in NXT. I can't think of the person he fought against, but I did like Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in the street fight. Who did Baron Corbin fight in the street fight in NXT?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I can't remember if it was Ilya. I think it was Ilya Dragunov, but
this is at the end of last year. It wasn't this year.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Going into number 3, and I know a lot of you are gonna be like, how come Jey Uso winning the belt is on the list? Because it wasn't that good of a goddamn match. And we all saw it coming. Okay, so number 3, I'm going with Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns. Granted, it was more like the end of last year, right? But I loved every bit of Solo Sikoa versus. They did very well in making Solo Sikoa look like he was an equal to Roman Reigns, finally elevating. And this was a pivotal moment for the NXT roster and everybody coming up in the NXT roster. A pivotal moment. And the reason why it was so pivotal was because these two guys were both homegrown from NXT. Roman Reigns being Generation 1, right? And Solo Sikoa being a couple of generations after. So this solidified two people in the main event from NXT on the main roster, which was absolutely incredible for the NXT brand, and it cemented the legacy of NXT being the brand, the third brand on the roster. Like, hey, we got superstars over here too, without the main roster. Number 2, Raw, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. This was a fantastic match. It should have been on pay-per-view. They gave it to us for Raw versus Netflix at the beginning of the year. I absolutely enjoyed it. I'm still mad that CM Punk won, but CM Punk finally got his
get back.
Yeah, he finally got his get back on Seth Rollins, and I don't think that CM Punk should have won, but a lot of people disagree, and a lot of people think that CM Punk is the best in the world. I'm one of the people that don't think so. I think he's really good on the mic, but his in-ring ability is 7 out of 10. I mean, I just don't think it's just as good. And this last one, I didn't really care for the match so much, but I thought it was significant because it ended one of the greatest runs ever, and it was the end of a record-breaking championship reign, which was SummerSlam John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes coming up with the big victory and winning the belt back. And I think John Cena versus Cody Rhodes was really good. I don't think it was the passing of the torch because I think Cody Rhodes is just too old for John Cena to pass him the torch. But
I just don't think Cody is. I don't think Cody is him enough to take that role of John Cena.
That could be true.
Like I like Cody Rhodes. I do not love Cody Rhodes. I like Cody Rhodes, but I don't think he does not fit the responsibility of what it takes to be a John Cena. Now I will give him his props. He does really well with the community stuff, being out in the public, like doing all the stuff. I really don't like Cody on the mic very much. I think he's kind of stale. I don't know, something about the way he sounds. I just don't like it. I do love his entrance. I'm not gonna lie to you. His entrance is fucking fire. His entrance is one of the best. Like, it's fucking great. Especially when he pulls the fucking mask and shit. Like, I love it. But I just don't buy him being like that. I don't buy him being that John Cena type. because I think John Cena's one of one, and just like how we've had The Rock and we had Stone Cold, like I don't think you have to be your own person to be able to take that mantle. Even Roman was his own mantle. Like Roman had to grow, but once he did, it's much more believable that Roman is much more of that caliber of star, like your John Cena, Rock, and Stone Cold versus Cody.
Yeah.
Even
I'm not
Seth.
mad at that.
Seth is like that too. Like I think Seth is extremely charismatic. I think Seth is really good from an ambassador perspective, from a champion perspective. Like I think obviously, and I've said this to a lot of people, I say this in this modern generation, Roman and Seth are literally Stone Cold and fucking The Rock, like without question. Or you could say that it's a lot more like like Roman is Stone Cold and Seth is Triple H. You could play that game too if you really want to deep dive into this, which I would buy a lot more of the Stone Cold and Triple H comparison. And then I would say Cody's kind of more of The Rock in this scenario because The Rock always had that pop with the crowd. Cody has the pop with the crowd. He doesn't have everything else. Roman has that. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm about to fuck shit up no matter what. And Seth very much has taken on that cerebral assassin type of persona, which is why for me it would make sense if you want to put those three in that type of a classification. That's kind of how I would
Right.
see it.
I ain't mad at that. And like I said, we are going to cross that over with the top 5 college football games to watch this year. Granted, number 5 on this list has already happened, and everybody was everybody kind of watched this game for the most part. Everybody was pretty disappointed, but the hype behind this game was crazy. Starting off at number 5, Texas at Ohio State.
Boo.
Was it a good game? No. But everybody was anticipating to watch it because we all thought Arch Manning was going to be great with the amount of hype he's been getting in offseason and things like that, going against one of the top teams in Ohio State, defending champs. I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah. Now,
OSU?
We wanted that matchup to be really exciting and really good.
It was trash.
Yeah, it
right.
Was. Call it exactly what the fuck it is. It was trash.
It was trash. But I'm just the hype leading up to the game. The hype leading up to the game, we were all ready to yeah. Oh,
and as fans, we bought the hype because it made sense. It just didn't live up to the hype.
Yeah. Going in at number 4, a game that I am really, really looking forward to. I don't know how you feel, GQ, but this is a game that I really look forward to. Not this weekend, but next weekend. Alabama at Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Crimson Tide, fresh out of Nick Saban's grasp, and you got Georgia, who's still kind of fresh off 2 years ago of winning. With 2 or 3 years ago, they won the national championship. And they're still a really, really good team. Alabama, even without Nick Saban, is still a really good team. I think this will be a battle of 2 top 10 teams when it comes around. It will be a battle of 2 top 10 teams, and it's going to be a really, really good game.
For sure.
I can't wait for this game. It's going to be fucking phenomenal. Of course, number 3, you already know where I'm going with this. I'm an Ohio State fan, and this is the Friday after Thanksgiving. I'm an Ohio State fan, and every year everybody tunes into this game, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. The oldest rivalry in college football. Ohio State versus Michigan, November 29th. Right after Thanksgiving, the number 3 game on my list.
Legends are made, coaches are fired, allegations are sparked. Ryan Day almost got fired behind this fucking game.
And somebody loses their job, for sure.
Yeah. Like, that's how iconic this fucking rivalry is. And I love it. I do. I'm a fan of it. Like, I think it's awesome. And I also love the fact that we're gonna get like the Red River is going to be happening again this year because that's one of my favorite games to watch. But Michigan, Ohio State is
But
fun. Michigan, Ohio State is always
damn it,
fun. And it's always and maybe it's just me. It's always the same. It's like whoever controls the running game wins this game. It seems like
oh yeah, for sure.
it seems like it's always that way. Like it's never like, oh, these two teams are battling with aerial attacks. Like it's never that. It's literally who has the better O-line and who has the better running backs. Mind you, Ohio State is one of the best players in the country at wide receiver. How much of a role is he going to play in this game? Now, this year, I actually think Ohio State going to blow the fucking doors off of Michigan. I just think Ohio State is that much better than Michigan this year. But let's be real. We've
It's
seen
a
this
rivalry.
rivalry for years, and it doesn't matter who the fuck is better. These teams, watching Michigan, Ohio State, I'm going to equate it like this. Check this out. And you can agree, maybe you won't, but I'm going to use the NFL to bring this rivalry to life. This is the equivalent of Pittsburgh, Baltimore in the AFC North.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who the fuck the better team is. When they play, it is an absolute dogfight, and it literally could go either way no matter the situation. That's how I see Michigan,
That's
Ohio
facts.
State. It's Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Like, that's how I see it. Because there are times when Pittsburgh was head and shoulders above Baltimore, and Baltimore found a way to win games. And I've seen it vice versa, where Baltimore was far and away the better team, but Pittsburgh found a way to pull a last-second field goal type shit out and upset them. So that's how I feel about Michigan, Ohio State, all the way.
All right. Now, number 2. And a lot of people probably won't agree with this, but I think you'll appreciate this because it's not a typical Power 5 game, right? I'm going my number 2 matchup as a rematch on, I want to say this game is October 18th. I got to look it up. Yeah, October 18th, start time to be determined. SMU versus Clemson in a rematch of the ACC championship game that was so good last year.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? And Dabo needs it, man, because Clemson being 1-2 just is weird. We expect better from a powerhouse of a school like that, because Dabo has built that program to be something of relevance. Now, mind you, they haven't won a national championship since 2018, but they've always been competitive. So them having a slippery start to the season to where you got Dabo Swinney saying, well, if they don't want to buy into winning, then I'll go somewhere else that wants to win. You ain't never heard Dabo talk like that before.
Right.
So I am curious about this game. I haven't seen much from SMU this year, so I don't even know how SMU is looking. I'll look.
SMU brought back, I think, close to 16 starters from last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so
Clemson brought their quarterback back and some other players. So it should be interesting. Like, it'll still be a good game.
And then my last one, and matter of fact, let me start by saying the 5 college football games I've picked is not in a particular order, right? It's just the 5 games I think you should watch. And GQ is gonna be like, yeah, I'm not surprised by this, but I am going with USC Oregon, and the reason why I'm going with USC Oregon is the first time they'll be in the same conference of the Big Ten, and this might be the game to determine who's going to win. Who's going to win the Big Ten, or who's going to be in the championship game for the Big Ten, because it's late in the season on November 22nd.
Okay.
And both of them being the Big Ten, whoever wins this game will probably be ranked the highest person in the Big Ten, and it's probably going to determine who's in play for the college football playoff over the other, because I don't think the Big Ten are going to get into 2 teams.
I'm going to say TBD, because we need to see what the records look like.
That's true.
USC USC is not that good this year.
No, they're not.
Oregon is. Oregon brought back a lot of talent, and they still have their coach. So Oregon may have a leg up. However, we will see. how this plays out record wise when that game comes up. Because you're right, that game could literally be the Big Ten championship game. But let's find out what happens after, let's say, about week 5, week 6. We're gonna see, because I need to see a few more things from USC just in total before I make a determination. Felt good having that crossover. That was good stuff. Haven't had one of those in a long time. And way to bring in WWE and the NCAA, which are like two of the most like relevant things currently going on right now. So that actually worked out extremely well. And that's why he's good at what he does when it comes to this crossover business in the first place. So while he's taking his little pause from wherever he is, most likely taking a phone call of sorts. Oh, there
I'm back. Before we go on talking about the game of USC versus Oregon, the reason why this one makes my list, because even though USC is not that good, Oregon has been on a win streak against USC, but now that they're in the same division, even though I don't think USC is that good, it's a big game, because if Oregon and USC also has close games. Let's just get that out of the way. If USC was somehow to upset Oregon, Oregon would fall. They would fall big time, losing to USC. So that's why I got it on my list as a big game. And it's not. It's a big game more so for USC than Oregon.
Okay.
Because I do think USC could win the game. I don't think USC is just absolute trash and they're not good enough. But they've played this team so much over the past couple of years. They know each other, and you know how those go in college or in the NFL. When you play a team so much, you know their tendencies. That USC could be unranked when that game comes around, and it will be a close game versus Oregon. I'm talking about, I think it'll probably be like 27-24 at the end. And if USC pulls that off, Oregon will fall and they will not make the college football playoff, and as they should this year, because I do think Oregon is really that well-rounded and that good. That's why I put it on the list.
I'm down with it.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there's the crossover. It's been a while. I plan on doing some more of these, but I plan on going back to the roots and going back to this day in comic history and moving forward with it. But as far as this one goes, it was a special edition just because John Cena the last time is now, and college football just started. So don't worry, Brews and Q's is going to make a return. It will make a return, and we're going to have our season-long bet, and he's going to lose to me. I just want to let y'all know.
Okay.
He's good at playing fantasy. He's not good at making picks. So
you say that, and I'm in third place right now in my pick'em league that I'm in right now, and I'm on week 4 of my survivor picks right now. So I must be pretty good at this pick thing.
You're good at picking who might win a game. You're not good at picking the overall records.
That's fine. If my skill set is picking winners of games, then I'm cool with that, because that's where money is made.
No, picking winners of games you choose, not the overall week.
No, that's what I'm talking. My pick'em is for overall week. Like I went 11-2 last week. Like don't like.
Well, yeah. That's fine. But I'm gonna kick your ass going forward, Brews and Q's. Okay, let's get that out the way. All right. So for those of you that don't know what Brews and Q's is, we used to have a podcast Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings, whatever day it was. We'd get up, we'd pick games, and we had a season-long bet. And everybody just follow along. We pick the games, we pick the scores, and we just move on. I think the first year we did it, we were close as shit. It was very, very close.
Mm-hmm.
It was very close. So, this is going to be what, week 3?
Yes, we are in week 3.
So, I got to work Saturday morning. You want to do this thing Saturday morning? You want to do it Sunday morning before the games?
You said you work Saturday morning?
Yeah, I work Saturday. I work a whole day Saturday. I don't get off till 4.
Hmm.
Well, probably 2 because I'm trying to come watch WrestlePalooza. Oh, we'll be in the same place on Saturday. We could do it Saturday.
It is decided.
Maybe Saturday morning I'll just pack up my mic and like, all right, let's get this shit going.
So we'll get something cooking for y'all. It won't be long before you see the real talk also make its comeback. I've been giving it some time because I've been waiting. We've been actually really DJ Micah and myself have been kind of letting the other segments kind of grow so that we can kind of really reformat and restreamline these shows to where it wasn't just me and DJ Mike would be okay. You got a crossover bet. Okay, I got a real talk. All right, bet. And then we throw some stuff in between. So like that's why we've created the what's trending. That's why we've created Outlaw Unhinged. Like we have these things. We've
Dumbass
got Dumbass
Millionaire.
Millionaires. Fuck around and find out segment, the cooking sessions. So now we have a litany of tools at our disposal where we can now just set some shit up. Still waiting on Mr. Gent to get his shit together, but one day it'll happen. My bad. I didn't mean to say that out loud.
Shit.
Oh, I said that out loud. I meant to say that internally, but I didn't. It's okay.
No, you didn't.
I know. I was trying to be nice. Fuck all that.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts.
Well, yeah. Closing thoughts. I want y'all to stay tuned from the sidelines. Obviously, we have season 2 right now coming to end. We got season 3 coming up, and we got a couple of revamped themes. We got a couple of revamped shows. Gentleman's Talk will be the same. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, and we will keep doing phenomenal content and phenomenal things. And we want y'all to keep tuning in. Make sure you tune in Friday to the best damn football show on the internet. Period. Inside the Huddle. They'll break down things more as a football sense for the football games this weekend, whether it's college or it's NFL. You never know. Me and GQ popped up one time. You never know if we'll pop up again on something. Just make sure you tune in on From the Sideline 7 podcast on YouTube. Saturday and Sunday, y'all know we're off. Monday, we'll be back. You got Basket to Basket with Moo, Boo Wop, and Troy. Wednesday, you come right back here for Gentleman's Talk. Gentleman's Talk ain't going nowhere. We'll always be here. We'll always be on time. We'll be here every single Wednesday. This is what we do. Matter of fact, GQ, next week we need to talk some fantasy football, right? So,
I mean, we do. However, I will not be on next week's show, but
I'll talk some fantasy football.
I have a work related activity thing that actually.
Okay.
I lied. I'll be a few minutes behind.
Okay, so next week I'll make sure
I'll be tied up till about 8.
Okay, so I'll try to make the link Tuesday evening. I'll make a link for the show. So
if not, I can do all the production stuff.
Of course.
Too. But anyway, that's stuff. This is welcome to what the fuck we talk about when the camera's not rolling.
Yeah, facts.
Literally. Yeah, I mean, really and truly, man, just, we appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with us. Sometimes you're going to see it where it's just me and DJ Micah B, the original bad boys of podcasting. Sometimes we have the Infinity Gauntlet all together. Sometimes it's just the 4 gentlemen. You just whatever you get, you're going to get, and you're going to get a different type of blend of entertainment. Just know when you get the 2 of us, you're going to get some unscripted, wild, and exoticness that you didn't expect because we
By the way,
talk about.
I just got to do it one time because you brought it up. Bad boys, what you want, what you gonna do?
And just stop.
You stupid little motherfucker. I know why you did that. Because of the damn movie. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? I know you did that because of the movie. Because them niggas was wild in the movie.
100%. Yeah, man. Like like I said, me and Micah didn't talk shit about a doc before we popped on. We just did what we do. We just showed up and started talking. Sometimes that's all it takes to build a great show. But that's what happens when you have, unrivaled chemistry of sorts. But yes, there's going to be some changes coming down the pipe here soon. There'll be some. We'll eventually transition to season 3 of Gentleman's Talk. We're in season 2. We're hot and heavy. Things are going to start picking up. There will be some. I'm just going to put this out here in the universe for you guys. Take this for what you will when it happens, but there will be some massive, massive changes in 2026, and you will be complete and utterly shocked.
Blown away.
GQ bomb type shockers when 2026 happens. Just let you know now that's on September 17th, 2025. We warned you. So when we come back and we say the words, we warned you, you knew what the fuck we was talking about if you caught this episode. That is the only foreshadowing that we will give you about this. We will not talk about it anymore until it happens. Just don't be surprised when it happens.
Catch Brews and Q's this weekend, by the way. We'll be on, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, we'll get it done.
100%. We're going to get into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we love y'all. I would say that we appreciate the chat, but it was just Sherrod, and we don't give a fuck about Sherrod being in the chat. Sorry, that man gonna catch every string. Oh shit. I'm sorry. Y'all, if y'all don't know me by now, I'll be just popping
still ain't
shots.
shit.
Nope. And be popping shots. Don't give a fuck. I'm just playing. Still love you, Rod. I hope you had a great time at the birthday din and stuff you was at. Outlaw, hope everything is all right. Enjoy life. Me and DJ Michael B getting the fuck about here because unlike the rest of the crew, we got these super early dark days where we got to get started. So we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And we are
motivation in you and inspire the world to do what you can. If you love it, then fuck it, get through it.